And y'all wonder why New Orleans was the murder capital for so long. Those guys down there are totally different, especially when it comes to feeling played. How easy it is to die down there in New Orleans over a 50-cent cigarette.
I don't know what I did to make everybody hate trees. Everybody hate trees. I don't know what I did to make everybody hate trees. Everybody hate trees. I don't know what I did to make everybody hate trees. Everybody hate trees.
And y'all wonder why New Orleans was the murder capital for so long. You know what I'm saying? Those guys down there are totally different. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially when it comes to Georgia, and especially when it comes to feeling played. You know what I'm saying? And most of the time, the deaths in New Orleans came from somebody feeling played, man. To give y'all here in Georgia, you know what I'm saying, equivalent to what I mean by that is somebody in New Orleans feeling played is equivalent to somebody in Georgia that snuck somebody, that hit him in the face while he wasn't looking. That's what I'm saying. That's why New Orleans was the murder capital of the world. That's real talk, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because the time that I spent down there with Wayne, bro, the months, you know what I'm saying? I'm writing my book, and Wayne, editing the film American Kids, and not evacuated American Kids, with Young Money, Lil Wayne, Lil Chucky, all them, man. When he's filming that, I'm living there, bro, and I'm seeing, and I'm looking at the news, and I'm hearing even the gunshots, you know what I'm saying, when it happened, then see it later on in the news, you know what I'm saying? Uncle Lorel, big shots out Uncle Lorel, from down in the MILF, who ran the MILF down there, you know what I'm saying? I remember one thing that stood out. Out of all the things he said that I would never, ever forget. And it is in that New Orleans Exposed film that me and Wayne did. We was sitting in Uncle Lorel's house, man. And Uncle Lorel said, it could be a kid, 14, 15 years old, go to school every day, all about the books, ain't never been in trouble in his life. And when you wake up the next morning, you done heard he done shot somebody in the head. And that stems from that kid being played, man. You know what I'm saying? Willie D in the Ghetto Boy, Houston. I remember Willie D said, homies dying homies dying from cigarette butts around here. That's what he said in one of his verses. And I'd be damned if I was in New Orleans and we filming New Orleans Exposed, man. I don't know, we was in Desire, up in the 12th World somewhere. I can't remember what we were, man. But now I know we was at Jazz House. Big shots out to Jazz. We was at Jazz House, man. Talking about no limit silk the shop and things of that nature. But then one of the guys started talking, and he was saying how easily it is. He was letting me know because I was from down there. You know what I'm saying? And he was saying how easy it is to die down there in New Orleans over a 50-cent cigarette. So I told him to elaborate. You know what I'm saying? And when he said over a cigarette, man, what he initially meant was something happened between two guys over a cigarette butt, meaning a short. That's what we call here in Georgia, in Atlanta, when the cigarette is about gone and it be a short, either halfway or beyond half. When somebody say, hey, man, let me catch that short. Something happened between two guys and a short, and one of the guys died. We talking about not even a half a gram of tobacco. Somebody died. But you know why somebody died? Because in that situation, one of those guys felt played. You know what I'm saying? And down in New Orleans, bro, when you feel played, that strikes them differently. Like I said, up here in Georgia, it's like they just got snuck. In New Orleans, somebody just hit them in the face from the blind side. And how do people react? You know what I'm saying? Especially if they have a gun on them. If they get hit, snuck by the blind side. The first thing, the reaction, it just most of the time be a reaction to pull out your gun. Especially if you a gunner, to pull out your gun and start firing. You know what I'm saying? But that's just how the mentality is in New Orleans, man. Your folks don't play. You know what I'm saying? And like I say, it's all about what they feel. The other guy may not been trying to play them. But if you one of those guys and you not trying to play him, but he feels that you don't play him, man, it's a 95% chance that you're gonna die. In New Orleans, in Compton, even in New York, different spots, man. You know what I'm saying? This is how the culture is in some cities in some of these states. You don't have to put your hands on somebody to get yourself killed. And it's real talk. And that right there that I just said goes for everyone. You don't have to put your hands on a person for a person to kill. You know what I'm saying? You can insult him. You can insult him, or you can make him feel played. And now your face on everybody's t-shirt in the city. It's real talk, man. And they just don't accept it. You know what I'm saying? Some people do accept it. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot of homies in Atlanta, in Decatur, things done happened to them, or somebody done did something, and they felt played. And they didn't have the same reaction that my homies do in New Orleans. And that's real talk. But then you gonna have those few. You know what I'm saying? Up here in Atlanta. When I say few, y'all don't be mixing my words up, taking your own definition of them, because y'all got to remember how many people in the state, how many people in Atlanta, the city. So if I say a few, we talking about 30,000, maybe. You know what I'm saying? In the state of Georgia. It's 30,000 of us that you can verbally assault us. Or you can do something to us, me, and I feel played. You might get shot. You might get pistol whipped. You might need 58 stitches. You know what I'm saying? Or you might get stolen. But I'm going to handle that. You know what I'm saying? And that's just what's inside of me. It's just how I was raised. So you take, 100,000 of me's and put them down in New Orleans. Them folk don't play that. They just don't play that, man. You know what I'm saying? And I totally understand it, though. Now, I don't agree with, murder and killings. Of course, you know what I'm saying? There are situations where we had to do whatever we had to do. Well, however. But I don't, hold it up as no trophy. Somebody died. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, when emotions get involved, y'all heard them stories that I did about emotions. When emotions get involved, man, nobody ain't thinking about your safety. They're just thinking about how we feel. Me, I'm talking about myself too. Y'all can't call the pot black. You know what I'm saying? Emotions start running, man. And I don't care about how you feel or the pain that you feel or anything of that. I'm just thinking about what you just done to me, what you just said to me, and how it sits with me, which it ain't gonna sit. You know what I'm saying? And I don't care what world you in when it comes to New Orleans. You know what I'm saying? Like in Atlanta, Alabama, it might be different or however. I don't know everything. You know what I'm saying? But I do know down now in Louisiana, in New Orleans, one little simple mistake can end your life, man. And that's real talk, bro. You hear me, bro? Like it's totally different, man. Like when I think about any other cities, you know what I'm saying, states, just whatever, that's comparable or similar, man, I have to say, you know what I'm saying, Compton. Not taking that for no other place in LA, or they're just saying Compton, Chicago, and New Orleans. Straight up, man. And then, if I'm gonna do A fourth one, I'm gonna say Houston. I'm gonna say Texas. You know what I'm saying? Down there, Fifth Ward, all down there. Man, these folks had the same mentality, man. And then especially when it comes to like Houston and New Orleans, it was like they was intertwined with the travel before Katrina. Meaning like a lot of people that was in Houston traveled and end up in New Orleans and living in New Orleans. Growing up in New Orleans. And a lot of people that was in New Orleans traveled and went to Houston and end up in Houston. You know what I'm saying? Either way you want it, either way that you get it. I don't know, y'all. I'm hearing some type of rattling bomb type stuff in the sky. You know what I'm saying? Made me look up. You know, it's a beautiful day. We had storms last night. But I'm hearing this rumble like in the sky. I never heard it before. Just trying to make sure the Iranians ain't got their capabilities back. But being real, man, like being played is an unfortunate thing for some people because those people are dead now, man. And it probably been some cases where somebody wasn't trying to play, this person, and they ended up dead anyway because of what that person feels or felt at that time. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not, I feel bad for the person who did, and I'm not justifying the guy who killed them because saying like that's what he felt, because we can feel things and all because we feel them don't mean that they're right, man. But to avoid a situation like that, you need to make sure you move according to, the best way anybody that you're dealing with don't feel played. Therefore, you won't die.
Lawful testified for the state and Quint case. A decent person down the road, so they say. And Tree set up boosting just to keep Chris safe. The realest shit I ever wrote, the realest shit I ever say. I never testified a lie on the fuck nigga. I put that on my